स्टार्ट ହେଲା ଦେଖିଲ ୟୁଟ୍ୟୁବ ରେ ଆସୁଛି ନା ନାହିଁ? ଆଁ ମୋ ଭଏସ ନାହିଁ। ଭଏସ ନାହିଁ। Good evening, students. So let us start this today's session on ESP32 development board. So in this, what we are going to learn is what is a ESP32 board, how to write a basic program on that, and how I can connect that to a cloud, and how to control the ESP32 board to the cloud. So it was supposed to happen through online mode because we are doing it in offline mode because we are doing in online mode. I'll show you all the simple parts there, and the same code you can directly use there for your IoT part or the hardware. So I'll show one small example with the hardware as well. So once it's possible. So let me start this now. So basically, the first session you learnt about this Arduino board. So it is also an advanced version of that, I can say in a way, but with some added features. So what is the point there? So like why it is so popular and why we are using this. So first point is here low cost. So you can get ESP32 starting at $6, which comes in Indian price at around 450 rupees. It's means less price than sometimes Arduino Uno also. Then lower power. So if I compare with the Arduino Uno board, then it takes low power also. Further, it has the capability of Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. The two things I have written here, it has the capability of Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, which makes it more popular. If you use a Arduino Uno board, then that is not the case. It is not possible that you can control with the Wi-Fi. You can connect to the Wi-Fi or you can do the Bluetooth. If you have a Arduino board, then what you need to do, you need have separate ESP8266 module, or you need a separate HC05 module to connect to that for a Wi-Fi. Next point is these peripheral input output interfaces, like it has multiple ADCs, DAC, that means analog to digital converter or digital to analog converter is there. UART connection, I2C communication, PWN output is also there. So these are some of the advantages, and most important thing is how do we program it. So generally, if you have the Arduino ID, Arduino Uno ID, with the same software itself, we can program for the ESP32. I will tell that so how it can be done there. Next, it is also compatible with MicroPython. So there are some particular applications which are good if written in Python and the output is good in that case. So will be we can write with MicroPython as well. So then wireless conductivity, what it can do, here it can have up to 150 Mbps of data rate, and Bluetooth, it is working on ELE technology, that is called as Bluetooth low energy technology. It's a particular technology that is used, and then this is the processor it is used. So basically we need to know here it is a 32-bit processor is used there, clocked at 240 megahertz or 160 megahertz frequency. It is clocked in that frequency. Then what other things are available in the ESP32 board? So the ROM size is 448 KB, then a RAM size is 500, SRAM is there which is 520 KB, and other things are there. We right now we no need to go to in detail of that. So I'll be focusing on how to use the ESP32 or how to write a code for that. Fine. So all these specifications, whenever it's required, we can go through that. Fine. So this you can see, this is a board which ESP32 board. How does it look like? Fine. So there are two types of board generally. One is ESP32 and one is ESP8266. So when you go to buy a this ESP32 board, then generally it's called as Node MCU as well. When you go to buy this from a offline store, from a store, then just tell them that you need ESP32. I have seen students, they get confused because they look very similar and they get the ESP8266 module. So what happens with 8266 module? The point here is 8266 does not have a Bluetooth connectivity there. but ESP32 has the Bluetooth connectivity. Fine. So that's why it is important that you should always buy properly. That you see that what you are buying, is it a ESP32 or it is a your ESP8266. So if ESP8266, then Bluetooth won't be there. Fine. So that's what written here. Next is what are the different types of board available as a beginner, what you should use, because if you search in Google, then there will be so many types of ESP32 models will be available. So what are the things? So these are I have listed out some basic things are there. So ESP32 dev kit do it board, so that I'll show you today. That is the generally used, but there are also boards are there which you can consider if you want. But generally, all the starters or all the beginners, those who start with programming for IoT and like that applications, they generally use the ESP32 dev kit do it board. Okay. So next is this is how your board will look like. Means I have a board also. So let me show you if I can. So see this one, this board I have here. So this is the exactly same board. Here you can see backside it is written DevKit do it one, and this is a ESP32 board. Today I am going to use this board for programming and will be writing some basic program how to implement, how to dump the code in ESP32, what are the changes you need to make there. So we'll be seeing all that. Okay, so this is the some basic introduction to ESP32 board I wanted to say. So after this, there are some specifications again are there, like a number of cores. It is a dual core in Wi-Fi work in 2.4 gigahertz frequency. Then, as I said, Bluetooth low energy frequency architecture is 32 bits. So if you have some idea on how does a microcontroller work, so then I will say that it is a 32-bit microcontroller. It's working, and the clock frequency is up to 240 megahertz. There is a way you can downscale the clock frequency also to save power. Then RAM and what are the pins, 30, 36 or 38 depend on the model. So this many number of pins are available there. And what are the peripherals? So there is a capacitive touch if it is available, means if the board you like that, then analog to digital converter, digital to analog converter, then integrated circuit like I2C, then UART universal asynchronous receiver or transmitter is there, then controller area network. Controller area network we can say like when we are using Wi-Fi. So this P32 module can create a hotspot for you and you can use that as well. These are the some things, peripherals, some kind of connections are available in ESP32 that you can use, which are very limited in case of Arduino boards. So it's better to use ESP32. It can do same all the things, but with some extra added features ESP32 comes. Fine. Next is built-in LEDs. So there is a built-in LED which is connected to the pin number 2. That will see how to use that. And it is GPIO2. So once it is your Arduino board, it's a general IO pin is there, input output. But here it is named as GPIO. That means general purpose input output pins. Basically, when it comes to Pi, in that case, this GPIO word is used. So, but the programming is very similar to Arduino. We'll see that. So next is the basic part of this ESP32 board. So here you can see the main ESP room 32. It is the controller part. So this one is the controller, and here a small black thing is there under which the antenna is there. So it is used for Bluetooth and your Wi-Fi as well. So here one button is there, it's called as the boot button. When you have to install the software in this, download the code in the ESP32, you have to use the boot button there. I'll tell how to do. Reset is there once this, so once this has started, then reset pin will be working. I mean, if you want to restart the program inside that, then there is a voltage regulator. So basically, it is required to protect the circuit from extra voltage or over voltage if it happens. And then this module is a communicator. So what it does, it makes the communication between the system and the microcontroller here. This microcontroller. Basically, this microcontroller cannot directly communicate with your laptop or computer, whatever it is, but we need a translator. We can say in the layman knowledge, you can understand we need a translator or a communicator. So this one is the communicator. So it transfer whatever signal comes from the laptop to the USB here. It goes to through this controller to the microcontroller. The codes we are dumping, it goes like this. So next is your these are the pin diagram. So in different modes, the same pin can be used in different purpose. So this is just a reference. You cannot remember this. Obviously, it's difficult to remember. Whenever you are using, you can easily find the pin diagram in it, and you can see and you can use this. And on the board also, the pin numbers are also written. So once we start the program, I'll say there. So this is all about a basic structure of the ESP32 that we are going to use. So this is the end of slide. So what we will do, how to do, I'll go to a online simulator. So in the online simulator, how to means program for the ESP32 board. Let's see that. So the website is wakwi.com, WAKWI. So you can go to this website, and here let me you can see here so many boards are there. Just go to this ESP32 board here. Okay, so by default there will be some programs are written inside that. So let us start the program. We'll start to write the program. Basically you select this ESP32. Once you select this ESP32, you can see there are two windows will be opening here. One side you can see the ESP board, and then other side you can see where you can write the code. And the code structure, if you see, it is exactly same as that done in the Arduino itself. So there is something written. Let me delete that. I don't need these things right now. Okay. So in ESP32 board, if I want to write a program, then how to write? So we know that in void setup, we have to set up the environment for the programming for the controller, that what it is going to do, where is the output, where is the input, and in the void loop, we are going to write our actual program, which will run infinite for infinite number of time. So I know that. So in this particular program, what we are going to do, we are going to write a program so that can switch on and switch off the internal LED of the ES32, and then we will see that how we can use the other pins as well. So here what you can do, we have to write pin mode. So if you write pin mode, say inbuilt function is there, automatically it pops up here. You can run that. So the actual spelling is PIN and the N should be capital here. So pin mode. So let me take this D32 is there. So let me take that. I want to connect my LED through D32. So I'll write 32 comma, and it is a input. Sorry, D32 will be a output here. Fine. So now I have told the system that 32 pin is the output, and you need to work accordingly. So what I'm going to do, in the 32 pin I am going to connect a LED, and the LED should glow. How it will glow? If I give the high signal to that pin, then only the LED will work. So for that, what I need to write? I need to write digital right. I want to give the value to that pin, so that's why you need to write digital right there, and then here we can write pin number 32 comma high. Fine. So this is the program through which we can I means control one LED here. So instead of 32, let me take 2 here. Pin number 2 is actually the internal LED of the ESP32. So internal LED, will see it's working or not. So let's run the program. Okay. So if I run the program, okay, so it's showing some error. Let me just check what is the error. This error is in the okay, this void setup. I deleted the ending bracket. That's why the error is showing. So basically, this is based on the C programming. So if you know how to write a program in C, then you can write. So you can see this internal LED here. Okay. So this one is this red color, you can see here, it is glowing now. If I stop the simulation here, then it's not glowing. Again, if I start the simulation, this internal LED is glowing here. So basically, you don't have access to connect to that internal LED, but in the board it is getting connected. Fine. So now let us try to blink that. So how to blink? For 1 second I'll switch it on, then for 1 second I'll switch it off. Like this I can blink it. So for that I write a function like delay, and here I write 1000. What is the meaning of 1000? That means 1000 million, which is 1 second. After that, what I do? I will digital write, and I will make that pin. Okay. So I'll make that pin low. Actually, the previous was wrong. So fine. So here after I make low, I'll make a delay again, and with a delay I'll write here again 1000. So for that means I am switching it off for again 1 second. So like this, it will switch on for 1 second, and it will be switched off for 1 second. So if I write like this, you can see there will be a blinking of the LED. So I will make it full screen. Now you see that this blue LED is there. So it's blinking 1 second off and then 1 second off. Fine. So now if writing the program in the simulator, then how to write the same program in the Arduino Uno? So let us see that I'll just copy paste this program to the Arduino Uno, and we'll see that how does it work. So for that, let me open Arduino Uno here in my system. So this app you can download in the first session, you might have seen that.